Good morning, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Tuesday morning, November 26th. We're looking at yesterday's market profile of the SPY ETF, and I put it in 2 tick increments. I want to go over a bunch of things real quick, which transpired yesterday, which will lead to what we're looking for today. Plus, I had some questions about what a price probe and a price spike and the difference are. So first off, let's go over what happened yesterday. We had the gap higher, which held. Yesterday's high is below here. We have a tremendous buy tail, right? B period started, went down a tick or two. That's my lowest accepted price. Nice buy tail and the gap. We go out with a price probe and a price spike and a price probe. What's the difference? A price probe can only happen in the last 30 minutes of trading. So that means M period has to take out either the day's high or the day's low to have a probe. And it's called a price probe because it's exactly what it's doing. It's probing higher prices. But until A period starts the following day, we don't know if it was accepted or not. So right now we're trading right at the top of M period. So since the price probe started at the top when we took out L's high, if we were to open here or higher, the price probe would be accepted. It would kind of be like a form of single prints the next day. Okay, that's the price probe. Price spike. A price spike happens late in the afternoon. I'll usually use the earliest J's period. So either J, K, or L. So from 2 o'clock on, if J, K, or L spike higher than that day's high at the time or low, that's a price spike. So L period spiked. We took out C's high and closed above it. Now, if we had closed below C's high, then the price spike already we know failed. But since we closed above the price spike, we will now use C's high, just like we'll use L's high, as destinations on the downside where buyers were before. That's the difference. Okay? Now, so the buyers did a lot of good things yesterday. We have an afternoon pullback low. We have a price spike, a price probe, a gap, a buy tail. The only thing that I could look at as a sort of a negative is we turn into a prominent P shape, which basically signifies short covering. Now, short covering could last for a while, right? It could last for a day, could last for a month. And also, generally it makes the market weaker because once the short selling's done, there's no real buyers there and will fall. However, in this market, in this environment which we had as we go later on in the year, people are going to have to chase, funds are going to have to chase performance. So the longer we stay up here, the more there's a chance that even short covering could bring in new longer term buyers. Okay, let's go over destinations and a game plan for this morning. So for the upside right now, with just over an hour to go, we're still going to use yesterday's high. We're right there of 313.37. That's our all-time high. Then last night, we put in an overnight all-time high of 313.71. So once again, our all-time high is in the overnight. Right now, our pre-market high is 313.60, so we haven't even gotten to the overnight all-time high yet. For the downside, our first destination would be our price probe. That's L's high of 313.26. Then our price spike, which is C's high of 313.15. Now, if there's no buyers here and we get accepted back into C's range, then the odds of trading back to our POC from yesterday of 312.91, which was 10 wide, would be very, very good. Below that, we have our afternoon pullback low, I period, of 312.83. Then we have the lowest accepted price, B's low of 312.68. We have a tremendous buy tail, and then we have yesterday's low of 311.98, and then filling the gap at 311.24, a 74-point gap. So what's the game plan for this morning? Well, right now, with an hour to go, we're looking to open slightly above value and right at the top of balance, possibly. So if we're to open right at this level or even gap higher by a little bit, I'm not going to buy it, just like I didn't yesterday, even though I missed that trade because we had an open and drive. If if it's a small gap, the odds are it will fill. More importantly than the gap holding, if we have one, is does the price probe and price spike hold? That's very important to me. If those two levels hold, then you can get on board with the call, because odds are you should at least go up and take out that overnight high. I mean, one of these times you'd love to have, no overnight high, just a regular trading hour high, and get some excess to lean on, right? Excess ends one auction, begins another. Now, the odds of that happening at the all-time high are probably pretty slim. Like I've said before, we'll put in an all-time high, and then months down the road, you're not going to even realize that we had done that. That's the odds of that when that does happen. So for me, L and C's highs are important. If they hold, then we should take out the overnight high. If they do not hold, then you're going to trade down to POC. And then you have to see what kind of speed bump we get here and what we get at the afternoon pullback low and the lowest accepted price. Again, if they hold, it would be at the bottom of yesterday's value. You can get involved with a call and see if we migrate back up to at least C's high. If they don't hold, then there's a good chance you can at least chew away a good part of this buy tail. So, you can wait for more market-generated information, or you can get on board with the call around the L and C high to see if they hold. If they don't hold, you can buy a put to get down to POC. Those are the early trades. And then quickly, on the charts, I love to reiterate them because when it does get busy, you have this all in your head and it comes second nature without you having to look at it again. Monthly, outside month up, gap higher, right? 3 days left in this month, 2.5 days actually. One time framing up, 7 weeks, and this week already took out last week's high, very healthy. Remember, the market can't go down until it stops going up. Daily, above this 6-day balance, on a gap, very healthy. Now, the only last thing I have to say is obviously volume was just below average yesterday, but it was light. But as we go on this week, I'm sure the volume's going to get less and less as we get closer to the Thanksgiving holiday. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.